Scoot, 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 scoot. Yeah, how's it going, chosen ones? How we doing? Yeah. Welcome to the Kimberly Posset channel, where here we discuss basically anything. Whatever's happening in the day, and then relating it to how we can glorify God, basically. Your girl is sharing one last mensaje before I just kind of, Wait, am I doing a video? Wait. I'm just gonna do one last message before I. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, for real, yeah. I'm just gonna do one quick message before I. Oh, sorry. I just keep falling asleep. But. Okay. For real though, like young girl's eyes were like getting heavy on the couch. And I was like, one more video for the day. Because the last video I just did, like, I don't know, 2 hours ago, something like that, is about challenging yourself. And I encouraged everyone to like choose something to challenge themselves with, like, or make a goal, I just wanted to give a warning based off of kind of like the subway ride home. Everything was fine. It was like, the subway's always a little sketch. Like, it's always a little sketch. But I just wanted to share, like, in the title of this video, I'm going to have it be like, warning, watch out, like, during your glow up, high vibrations attract all. So the thing is that when you start to feel like you have, really glowed up, elevated, and surpassed levels that you've never surpassed before with yourself, other people can feel that energy, and that's the attention that you'll get. A lot of people picking up on your high vibrations, and you might say, "Oh, what's wrong with that?" But maybe nothing. Maybe some people are inspired by it. Like, that's cool, right? Like, that's awesome. But the thing is some people, not everyone's like happy for you when you're happiest. Unfortunately, I don't know what's going on there, but I guess human nature, crab in the bucket mentality, So I just wanted to like do a video that was like, warning that when you do start to like get those really, really good vibrations, and you're like, okay, like I'm, you're feeling good about whatever it is you're doing. Like, you're even surprising yourself with your results. Like, okay, like, this is cool. Like, I don't know if I've ever like been in such a peak before. You know your valleys, but you're like, oh, I'm on a peak right now. Like, where this productivity and my mentality is aligned, and therefore, my behavior matches what my mentality desires to achieve. I kind of feel like my eyes look really red, but it's just the lighting. But it's kind of tripping me out. Like, not trying to be like Doja here. Let me see. Is that better? Is that any better? The lighting. Lighting is the bane of my existence when it comes to YouTube. The light used to be over here, but let's see. I think I like this yellow light. Let's get this yellow light over here. How's that? It's a little bit better. I don't know. It just looked off for a second. Better? Okay. So yeah, like, just be aware that when you're glowing, paper towels. I'm responsible, and I bought paper towels. And when you're like glowing up, people are gonna be like, what's that girl up to? What's that guy up to? They got a little swagger when they walk nowadays. Why are they extra sure of themselves? I don't like that. Let's knock it out of them. Like some people are gonna be antagonist. They're gonna harbor animosity, even if they don't reveal it to you, even if it's not obvious to you in a face-to-face interaction. Some people, I hate to say it, most people, not everyone, we got the real ones in our circles. We all have that one or two, solid, like there's no chance this person could ever turn on me type of friend in your circle, So not everyone, but most people don't want to see you doing better than them because it reminds them of what they haven't done yet. Or it reminds them that they're not working hard enough, or somewhere along the lines in your formula of hard work and experience and dedication, you hit the algorithm that's successful. And they're like, well, where's my algorithm that's successful? And so just fair warning when you're like killing it, people are like, what the, how does this person do it? So I kind of want to like give an example. Like tonight I was just so aware that this guy like kind of like over there just staring the fuck out of me, like staring the F out of me. I don't know if he was trying to count how many pores are on my nose or how many eyebrow hairs I have, but I was like, I'm gonna move trains because I'm aware that actually all three of these men are just staring the F out of me. And it wasn't even in a, lustful sexual way. It was more of like a curious and I felt very aware that I was reading this like brochure that I picked up in Columbia Circle today from the meditation folks that were from Brooklyn. It was interesting. I read the whole thing actually. It was actually great reading material for the commute home. But I ended up I was so aware of people staring the F out of me. That at this point I'm okay with it and I accept it, but it like it's just important that I make a message for anyone else that like you're not of this world when you're chosen, so that's why you get stared the F out of. But it's also making any chosen one is definitely a little bit more brighter when they're feeling good. And like today, I did so much exercise and I achieved a lot in my mind. And I overcame a terrible mood. The way that my morning started out, I had like an early morning appointment in the city. And it was incompatible, I would say. I just wasn't feeling very good after that appointment. And drained by 9 a.m. And I had to like check myself. I had to go blow off some steam. It took 2 to 3 hours to regulate my mood after that appointment. It was so bizarre and just sometimes it goes like that with people. You just sometimes someone will just completely drain you within 1 hour and you just didn't even know what was happening. You just show up for healthcare, and it's just like it goes south. And I know we've all experienced, subpar medical interactions from one point or another in life. And that's just kind of what it was for me. So I had to really check my mental, and anytime when I'm able to reverse a bad mood into a good mood, the end of the day ends up being like very high vibrations because I feel extra proud of myself, or I feel really good for not letting that like get to me. Because like you could easily let a bad morning turn into a whole bad day. And, I've been there before, but it's no fun. So what really helped today was I took my time and I checked myself. I really blew off some steam longboarding in that little basketball court and stuff. And so I kind of think that anytime you're able to reverse like the bad mood to a good mood, like you're extra powerful then. And I'll share this, not to like, I'd like to remain humble. I'm just sharing this for the story. I had a past coworker in 2018 share at the end of the internship that he respected the fact that there'd be some mornings I'd come in, he could tell I was visibly upset or in a bad mood. But then he saw throughout the meeting in the morning or throughout the early couple hours of the shift, I was able to switch it and have a good day. And he told me that he really, really respected that. And that was amazing feedback for me because I always just thought I always want to be spreading good positivity. That's my job. I do feel that way. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I do feel that is my job on earth, is to literally send high vibrations out. So anytime I'm not in a good mood, I actually don't really like to be in public, which I know is like super, everyone feels that way, mostly, probably, right? But like, especially for me, I feel like I'm letting down the human race if I go outside and I'm not like literally spreading joy to people that in my interactions and sending nothing but like really good vibes out into the world and like letting people feel Jesus' love through my interaction. Like I do feel that is my job. And so today I was like, I'm gonna have a good day. But it was really because the guy, when I bought my breakfast sandwich, really made a difference. Because after that appointment, I was like, okay, that went terrible. Let me go get some breakfast, some coffee. And you guys hear all the moving around upstairs. Yeah. That happens a lot when I try and go to bed. That happens a lot when I do videos. A lot of like spiritual warfare. I don't know. I don't know. I can't oversymbolize everything, but kind of funny how they're quiet as when I'm doing, whatever. But when I'm trying to do something or fall asleep, there's a lot of moving around upstairs. So a lot of screeching of like chairs and, funny. The enemy attempts to distract. Little does he know, I have Jesus on my team. Yo, what's up? Chosen ones. Thanks for tuning into this message. The bodega guy, I went in after that appointment today, and I was like, that was terrible. This mom came up and asked me, she said, hey, excuse me, sorry to bother you. I'm trying to feed my kids this morning. Would you be able to spare a couple dollars? And I said, sure, why not? And I had literally $2 just like in that little side pocket. I was like, perfect. I said, there you go. She's like, no, thank you. I said, no problem. But I did feel like, I was like, cool, I'm already helping. Like I already had like a bad appointment, but I came out and I don't know, I thought I had terrible vibes, terrible mood, but she came up to me and asked if I could help out, and I was happy to help. She's a mama trying to feed her kids, It's really real in the city. Everyone's really fighting. It's a rat race in the city. 8.7 million people, so you can imagine. And anyway, I go to the bodega, and the guy, he just was super in tune or knew what was up. Or I've been told too that I wear my heart on my sleeve. Is that the expression? And I was still de-escalating after that really incompatible appointment. And I kind of waited for the other person to like finish ordering. I wasn't even in a rush. I was like, I'm just like de-winding from that. I kind of put my longboard on the little fridge thing and put my bags down. And he kind of looks over and goes, hey. And I go, hey, good morning. And some of it was in Spanish. And Yeah, I ordered my breakfast in Spanish. I ordered my breakfast sandwich in Spanish, and I was so out of it when I was in the bodega, because I was still like, my brain was like, I was like, I did not enjoy that interaction at all, and it was at least an hour long interaction, and it like appointment. It was supposed to only be half an hour, and it was just we've all had those situations with people that it just we didn't jive, you know. Um, and I was like, and he goes, but it was cute and funny and endearing. And I was like, and he goes, and I was like, I laughed at that, and I was grateful that he made me laugh. And I was like, then I ordered my breakfast sandwich in Spanish, and he said, okay, no problem, coming right up or whatever. And I was dewinding, and I was like kind of talking to myself the way I kind of do that. But I was like, well, you know, and I kind of like pulled out like the cup of coffee that was like empty, like the little 12 ounce or whatever. And then I started to pour the hot coffee into it. And it was like, shh. And I was like, well, you know, can't have everything. And that's something I always say to myself when like I am disappointed or like something doesn't work out or whatever. But he was like, I think he was just in tune and like knew that I wasn't in a good mood, or like knew that something was bumming me out. And I like put like a little bit of sugar in, and then I just kind of like was staring at like the coffee and sugar, and I was still waking up too. It was like, you know, 9:30 or something, like 10 a.m. I don't know. I was like bummed, you know. I did not like that interaction. It just made me feel really, 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 really bad. And I was just staring, and then I didn't even say anything. My back was to him. I don't know how he like was so in tune, but it was really appreciated. He goes, milk's in the fridge. And I was like, oh, wow, read my mind. Okay. And I like opened the fridge, and I poured a little like a half and half into the coffee, and then he like brings it over, and he goes, he asked me, what kind of cheese you want? And I said, Americano, por favor. And he's like, okay, no problem. Or he was like, what kind of cheese you want? And I didn't even like, I was still like out of it, and like my mind was, I think I was a little traumatized with that appointment or something, because I was like, wasn't even aware he was asking me a question. And then what kind of cheese you want in your sandwich? And I didn't even realize. And so I go, oh, I'm sorry, miles away here. Americano is fine, gracias. And he said, don't think too much. Life's too short. And I was like, man, how is this guy like knowing what's going on? But I was really appreciative of it. I was really, really appreciative of it. I was like, cool. Like, I was like, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Thanks. And then he brings a sandwich up in a bag, and I said, se me olvidó, like, me gusta mayonnaise and ketchup on it too. And I was like, I'm sorry, I forgot to order that. And like, for some reason, I was so like discouraged or something. I was like, I forgot to order the mayonnaise and the ketchup on the sandwich. He's like, no problem. He's like, you want it in a cup or you want it on the sandwich? And I was like, is it okay? Like, put it on. He's like, I'll put it on a sandwich for you. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here for you. And I was like, who is this bodega guy who's so nice to me? Like, I really needed this morning. I was like, geez, like, what a blessing. And then I was thinking, you're so kind. And then he goes, no problem. He brings it back, and there's some napkins in it, and okay, the total's, I think he said like 6 something. And I left $2.50, and I said, this is for you. Thank you. Fantastic. Thank you so much. You're so kind. Really helped me out with breakfast this morning, you know. And then he kind of was like, thank you. Like, he kind of looked like, oh, you don't have to do that. But then, I was like, thank you. And this is in Harlem, you know. And I am walking out the bodega, but I hear his coworker say, dude, why are you giving me this? You're the one who made the sandwich. Just that is love. That person that showed me that kindness, that considerateness, and then he gave the tip to his coworker, even though he's the one who made the sandwich. You see how he took care of everybody. Like he was at the mindset of like, let me, let me give, like he was just someone who gives, and it just blew me away that like that was the start of my day. Like somebody's kindness, like really kindness is cool. And I was like, wow. And then like I was like, I had all my, it's always a fumbling process with like my bags, and the longboard's big and it's heavy. Like I think I've been getting some muscle from carrying it, but it's a good handful that I got usually in the city. So I was like I had like the coffee and the sandwich, and then my art supplies and the longboard, and I'm always just so nerdy and like fumbling and it's amazing. But and then this guy opened it, and I said, "Oh, gracias," and he said, "De nada, mamacita." And everyone in like New York, it's an endearing term to be called mama or mamacita. It's a sign of respect, actually, from men. So, and I was just blown away by like everyone being so kind that morning. And it really, really helped. And I just like, I think that if we can all give back a little bit, like with that level of attentiveness, like the whole world would be saved. I was blown away by that kind interaction this morning. And like, he even gave the tip to his coworker. And I heard his coworker go, "Dude, why are you giving it to me? You're the one who made the sandwich." I just, there's some people out there that really are setting the example for others. And, moving into the other section of the video too, like, I think that emotions and feelings and how we communicate that in our relationships is very important. And we'll get to that part in a second. But the other like midsection of this video is talking about how when you are like in such high vibrations, like somebody could easily like, taking advantage of like his high vibrations or whatever. So like, or, but like no one did, thankfully, or whatever. And like, that's really good. But I'm just saying, like, when you overcome the challenges that you set for yourself and you start to surprise yourself with your results and you feel really, really, really good, you're going to get like the mean mugs. You're going to get the stink eyes, you're going to experience like hate. You'll get a lot of love, but you'll experience a lot of hate too. I feel like my eyes are about to like just. So I was on the subway though tonight back home, and there was a girl staring the F out of me, and I know she wasn't from here because she was sitting with 4 other people who had an accent, and they were all talking. And when anyone's in a group, they're just tourists, and I just let her just look at me the whole, like, from 23rd all the way to 96. And my foot accidentally like touched her foot, and I said sorry, and she didn't say anything back. And then I was just like, sometimes you gotta let people have all the power. And it, like, in that situation, just let them look at you. What are you gonna, like, because when you're like really feeling, I'm sorry, like pick my nose in front of you guys just now. When you're feeling like super high vibrations, people are like triggered even by that. So just be aware that when you start to feel really good and you surprise yourself and you're turning into this newer version of yourself, and those demons are like no longer in your body, like those little weed demons and like little cigarette demons, like I don't feel them as much as when I was smoking. Like I really feel like they're leaving my body with every day that I don't put that substance again in my body. And so what that does is open new doors for stronger energy of like my own active consciousness to come in to play. And so it's powerful. And I'm also more level-headed, and I don't have as bad of anxiety or depression or mood swings because it's just cruising in the fast lane. There's no need for a blinker to get into the middle lane. There's no need for the blinker to get into the slow lane. There's no need to put the blinker on and just all of a sudden go off on an exit real quick and go into a dispensary and buy a weed when I'm feeling anxious or overwhelmed, or I just need to relax. It's just fast lane, focused, dangerous. Let's go, baby. You know what I'm saying? Dangerous in a good way. Dangerous, like, positive. Like, dangerous as in, like, oh, she dangerous. Oh, he dangerous. Like focus, laser focus, that kind of. But I was on the subway back home tonight, and I was just, like, so aware that this guy was staring the F out of me. And I was reading this brochure, and I read the entire brochure from front to back. But it was at the point where I started to get further north into the Bronx, and now there's not as many people on the train. And now I'm the only female on this train, and there's just, like, 3 men. And I can feel them literally all staring the F out of me. But I'm not feeling like it's, like, lustful or sexual. It's just more of, like, who is this and why are they so bright? And just staring at me, trying to figure me out. And, like, that'll be what's happening too when you get to levels and you're surpassing levels that you've never even done before with yourself, and you're, like, overcoming challenges, and becoming, like, the best version of yourself. Like, people will pick up on that high vibration, and they'll, like, come, like, hold you in contempt, or, like, harbor that animosity against you, or be inspired by you and, like, want to talk to you. But you got to be careful too, because, like, people coming up and they like you too much, there's usually an ulterior motive. So that type of thing, you, like, just really, 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 like, be careful when you start to feel. When you level up, people attack in different various ways. So keep an eye out for that. Keep your eyes peeled, and just, stay low key. Stay low key when you're feeling really, really good. And if you get a huge accomplishment, or if you get a big promotion, or you just bought a new car, keep it to yourself. People aren't happy for your success. Not everybody. There are those 1 or 2 in the circle that want to see you do well. And I'm sure y'all can think of right now who those 1 or 2 to 3 people are in your life that would never, ever, ever turn on you, and they're your homie, and they got you. You could tell that person, maybe when things have died down a little bit and you've had the car for, like, 6 months or 3 months, or you want to take them on a, like, ride or something, or you got the promotion and you're settled in and you're locked in to the promotion 3 months, you could just say, yeah, things are going really well. But don't post a status. Don't be flashy. Don't be, what's that word? Ostentatious with your success, because people will just bash on you, because they don't know how to express that they feel less for how high you're going. Unfortunately, that's the case. So I was so aware that all 3 of these men were just staring the F out of me, that I literally just, like, started to put on deodorant and, like, fumbling around in my bag because I was getting nervous from, like, the attention on me. Because I already finished the brochure. My phones are pretty much dead, so I wasn't going to fiddle around on my phone. And I was just, like, started to, like, put deodorant on, and then, like, I sprayed some of my perfume, and then, like, went like this and, like, smelled it for a second, and just to, like, calm me down. And I was like, I'm going to move trains, because I'm not going to make eye contact with them, because that's going to give them way too much power. I'm going to literally just get off this train and go to the next car. And that's what I did. And then I was, like, so much more relaxed for the next, like, 5 stops. I only had, like, 5 more stops to go, but it just, yeah, you gotta, when you're a single female, like, athletic female in the city, you gotta be very aware of your surroundings at all times. At all times. And today in the gym in Chelsea, I try and go to different gyms to see, like, which gym. It sounds really bad, like, when I say it like this, but I have been trying different gyms to see which ones I get less sexually harassed at. It sounds really bad when I say it like that, but I'm not trying to defend men when I say that, but I also go for different vibes, different equipment, different layouts of how the gym is, but there's tons of Planet Fitnesses in this entire city. So I really thought Chelsea was going to be the best gym where I could just get my work done and like not have any disruption. But I'm basically pretty much done working out in front of the mirrors because um, I have two options. I can pretend that I don't notice that they're looking at me work out, or I confront them and I lose energy. So what I'm gonna do now is take my dumbbells and go to like an area where I can still see my reflection through like there's different areas in the gym where you can still see your reflection, but it's not a mirror. And I'll take the dumbbells and I'll take a mat and my little 8-pound medicine ball and just go do my little routine in a corner because I can't fight every single interaction like that. Or I'll just lose my energy all day long. So um, I was doing the what do you call it, the bench, and I actually did 10 pounds on each side bench press. So 65, and that's pretty good. And then I did 3 reps of 7, and I could barely finish 7. And like at 4, 5, 6, and 7 of the last set, I was like making noises and stuff. I was like struggling, but I was doing okay. I finished, did 3 sets of 7, 65. That's good. I used to only be able to do the bar, so I'm slowly working my way up. But I could tell that this one guy was looking at me on my last set, and it's just an energy you feel. It's just a fear you feel, and he was trying to make it look like he wasn't looking at me, but he was, and I was like finishing my set, and I was like aware that there could be danger. That's what it feels like when you're like getting looked at and stuff. Because like my legs were like open, like on the bench press, it's like facing everybody, and they're like trying to make it look like, and he's trying to make it look like he wasn't looking at me, but I know he was giving me his attention or that I had his attention. And then it's just very uncomfortable. And then I got to the end of like the bench and I was like breathing. So I was like, that was a lot. And I was like, just taking it in that I just like knocked that out. And I was praying to God. I was like, please God, like, cause I can feel him staring at me and getting close to me and like getting ready to talk to me. And I said, please God, send him away. Like get him and his lustful demons away, please God. And I was praying to myself really quick after I finished my set. And then I was closing my eyes and praying. And then I like didn't even finish my prayer, and I hear him go, excuse me. And then I was like, oh no. I was like, the prayer didn't work. Not that the prayer didn't work, but I hate to say it like that, but like I mean I was in the middle of praying and like, okay God, take his lustful demons away, because I was like just trying to like I wanted to do squats after I finished my bench, but he came up and he said, excuse me. And I was like scared, and he's tall, and he's just tall and just a man, and I didn't want his energy, and it really scared me. And he's like, do you mind if I jump on in there with you? And I had no idea what that freaking meant. And I got so scared, I just high-fived him and ran away. I lied, and I was like, oh, I just finished. Like I did just finish my last set of 3 of 7, 65 pounds, but I was gonna move the bench and do squats after bench pressing. But I lied because he came up and he was like, mind if I jump on in there? And I was like, oh, just finished. And I high-fived him and ran away. I got so scared. I like grabbed my purse. I didn't know like what was going on, like why he would even like ask me that. And it just like really scared me. I like got so scared. I like literally I took the red carpet out underneath my own feet. I was gonna like stay and like work on my squats, which would really help my hips right now. But he was watching me for like my whole last set, and like it's the feeling, it's the amp up, it's the fear over a delayed timeline, where in women's minds we're in trouble, we're like in danger, and that's like what men don't understand about attention and harassment. You could just be looking and not even saying anything, but it's still making my heart race, and like I just don't understand why I can't work out without being harassed. It's really insane. I won't be discouraged by it, but I was praying, please God, take him away, because I really want to do my work. And he goes, excuse me, can I jump on in there with you? And I was like, oh, I'm dead. I was like, I just finished my last set. And then I high-fived him and like ran up the stairs and grabbed my purse. And he's like, I could see you shaking. And I was like, what? You're watching me like that? Like, stop. Like, I was so scared. He was so tall and buff and just like, excuse me, can I jump on in there with you? And I was like, I don't even know what that means. Like, that is so scary. Like, it was just so like, obviously him trying to like get cute with me, like in the gym or something. And I was just like, I got so scared. I was like, oh, I'm dead. Like, and high-fived him and then like grabbed my purse and ran upstairs. But I was like, that's really sad because I really wanted to like continue to working out. And of course I'm going to be the rude, like bitch if I just say, stop talking to me or get away from me. And that's why women are like, we get the bad rap of being rude but we're just, so, obviously I'm feeling a little discouraged by harassment all the time, but, what does can I jump in there with you even mean? Like, what? Like, everyone should really mind their own business in a gym. Like, it blows my mind that happened. And the other guy was just, I can't even do my dumbbells in the mirror without them, that one guy looking, and it takes energy away from me. So it's like, wow, like it's like when you're feeling, it might not even be like a lustful thing. Like, I can't read their minds like that. Like, it might also just be like them being able to tell that there's something different about me and they're drawn to my energy, which is usually the case. Like that woman coming up to me today asking if I could help out with a couple of bucks to feed her kids. Like, I think sometimes just people want to come up and talk to me because they're drawn to my energy. And it's not always lustful, but when I'm like in a sports bra and spandex and my legs are like spread and I'm like laying on my back and I'm doing bench presses, like, I don't want you giving me any of your attention, because like, when you're bench pressing, like your back is completely laid out and like your legs are like on either side. And I feel like that's like I just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really, and I tried to go at 5 a.m. to see if there's less people there, but that's when men are really there. There's just like no winning. And it blows my mind. It literally blows my mind. Like, I hop around to different gyms so I can get harassed less. And then it's just like, dang, it doesn't matter where I go. Like, they're gonna be looking. So we just have to stay strong. And then I'm finishing out this video. We're almost at 40 minutes with, like how, efficacy, I actually wanted to share that I got a text message from the friend that taught me about efficacy the most, because I felt like he had a really strong example of that, like all throughout the years that we worked together and were colleagues together at Portland State University. And what he taught me was that there's different frequencies in communication. So sometimes people they're more apt to respond this way, and other people are more apt to respond this way. It could be slower, it could be faster. And like, people can like easily humble you if they communicate with you like correctly. And so there was this one time, like during rowing practice, like this was like 5 years ago, and I'm not sure what was going on like with me, but I was having I was thinking it was just grumpy, like waking up and like having to work out like that hard in the gym, or at the boathouse for the rowing team. And I don't think I was getting enough sleep that term. And I remember we were like working out and stuff, and then like my other teammate was asking some questions, and then I was like responding, and then my friend that taught me about self-efficacy, which is the concept I discussed tonight, in the first video of like being able to execute a task and like, are you challenging yourself video? He's like, Kimberly, you're being kind of sassy this morning. And it just like humbled me so quick. And I was like, yeah, because I could feel, I didn't even like, what I was saying, but I feel like I couldn't help it. I was like sassy, I was grumpy, I was like frustrated or whatever. And it was like early morning. And because, rowing practice starts at 5:25 in the morning. So you're not showing up at 5:25, you're showing up at 5:15. Which means you're waking up. I mean, I woke up at 5:10 every morning. And we just hopped in the car, really quick, and then drove on down to the boathouse. But it was early morning, and so it was like, he just humbled me real quick, and he's like, Kimberly, you're being kind of sassy this morning. And I was like, I could feel it too. And I was like, yeah, I was like in front of the whole team, and I was like supposed to like lead by example because I was president. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I was like, okay. So I just kind of wanted to share too that like in all these relationships that we're in, like kind of how like the guy at the bodega, like that was a complete stranger. He was so nice. He like read and was attentive. Imagine like taking that level of attentiveness and like placing that in all the interpersonal relationships that you have in your life. Like, wouldn't that change the world? Isn't that amazing? So like self-efficacy, like what can you accomplish communication-wise in your relationships? And realize that people have different frequencies of communication. So some are gonna like, even though they hear you, they might like interpret it, a different way, and they might respond in a way that's a different frequency than what you understand. So I was just kind of like, whoa, I was kind of like blown away. Like, and then he like happened to text me like right after I did that video today, and I was like, oh, I was just talking about self-efficacy, and like he's the one who taught me a lot about self-efficacy. And I also wanted to share as a last point of this video that I'm going to set a challenge for myself to take like 23 different photos around the city with like a different outfit and a different background with like no hat and no glasses. It's just like a project I have to do for work. So like that's my goal for the next like tomorrow, the next day, and then all next week. I'll try and finish it by the end of next week. And that's like my goal to challenge myself. It was kind of actually hard to find photos with no like hats or glasses, and it's like for a project. So I just decided I'm gonna do the best I can with like coming up with like a cute outfit and then finding a cute backdrop. And there can't be like too many people in the background too. It's like specific guidelines, but it's for work. So that's it. And so it'll be like a cool like portfolio for myself too. Like I guess it'll be like kind of like a modeling portfolio. So that's my goal for the next little bit. I also did forget to share that there was also little kids staring the F out of me in the bodega like 2 days ago. And my friend that I was with, who's just a neighbor friend who lives here, and we met like 5 years ago, works at the Yankee Stadium. He was like, because he and I were talking, and then in the middle, he goes, by the way, that little boy's just been staring at you this whole time. And then he's like, nope. And now his sister is too. And he's like, and that little girl is too. And like, that's the other thing too, is like when you have that bright aura, like little kids and especially babies will see it the most. Adults will too, and that's why you get like the adults looking at you as well. But I also just want to share like high vibrations is something that we can all pick up on. Some will be happy for you. A small percentage will be happy for you and will ask you questions and come to you genuinely. How do I also do this? And they'll want to learn from you. And that's your leadership. That's where you can come in and, really, really delegate and just be like demonstrating your leadership skills because of you setting the example. They're coming to you and asking, how can I feel this good too? That's good. Keep those people in your life. But a large percentage, and most people won't be happy for your happiness and your high vibrations and whatever it is that you've been doing that makes you feel really good or looking really good, or making more money, whatever it is, that you're leveling up, you're glowing up. I just wanted to share for fair warning that when you do get to that level, there's going to be a lot of hate and there's going to be a lot of love. Just beware and use the discernment from God of, okay, how do I distribute this? Do I pay attention to this, or do I keep this person in my life? And he'll tell you the answers. But we're almost at like 45 minutes, and your girl's gotta like make lunch. I'm gonna pack lunches for Connecticut tomorrow and save money. And yep, that's the video, y'all. I really appreciate you tuning in. I think I said everything I wanted to. I'm just like checking my notes. Yeah, that's everything. Fair warning, when you glow up, people will notice. Some will be happy for you. Others will really, really harbor animosity, and just don't let it get to you. Don't let them dim your light. It's their demons coming out. It's not even necessarily that person. So yeah, another just ending point is don't even take it personally when you're getting that, like that stinky, that person's just like giving you the worst vibes, and you can feel it just walking past them. You don't even say anything. You just feel it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the energy of human language. Yeah, like, real talk. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. I'm gonna pass out now. I gotta make lunches, and then I'm gonna pass out. Super appreciate y'all. Like, a lot. We're at 140 subscribers. Like, what? It's amazing. Thank you so much for your engagement, especially on today's live. Oh my gosh, we had so much fun. Can't wait to do more content. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay chosen. Peace.